He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Bain, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Don Bain, and of course, I am the Gadget Professor. We're coming at you live from our Scottsdale, Arizona studio, and we are on show number 781. Remember, you can email me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. What we're going to do this week is a continuation of what we did last week, and we're going to talk about the gear that I am going to bring with me. As I mentioned before, shortly I will be out of the country for about 11 days. And when I go on these jaunts, if you will, I need to do a lot of video, a lot of photography, reels, all kinds of stuff. So I need to bring gear that is 100% reliable, and I need a variety of things. What my goal is to cut down on some of the equipment that I bring, because typically I fill up an entire suitcase with it. It's getting very hard to manage with the TSA, airplane, security, luggage space, the cost. All of this adds up, and it gets to be a real hassle. So usually I take way more equipment than I need. This time around, I'm really trying to cut down and just take the bare bones that I absolutely need. So let's pick up where we left off last week. And I think I went through like 7 cameras, not counting my iPhone 17 Pro Max, which is the king daddy of them all. As far as I'm concerned, a couple people had emailed me, if you had to pick one camera out of the 7, what one would you pick? And the truth of the matter is, I would pick my iPhone right there. This will do everything. It will do video, it will do photography. I could change lenses with this digitally if I want, or I can add lenses to this. So let's take a look at how we would do that. How would you add a lens to this device? Well, I have a bunch of lenses that I actually bring with me, and I'll show you a couple of them. This is one that I really like. This is a reflex lens, and what I do for my iPhone is I have a cage for this made by Small Rig, and this is kind of sort of what it looks like. And it comes in a big box like this, and this slides out. This will fit any phone, any smartphone, and it's made out of high-grade steel. And it's heavy, no question about it. It's big and it's bulky. However, I can screw any kind of lens onto the back of this, which makes this really nice. I can get any lens to hook on this, and there's hundreds of them that I could choose from. This is big and bulky, yes it is, but it gives me nice stabilization when I'm videoing or for doing photography. I also have a bunch of screws, holes here, and I can put in all kinds of extra flashes, external microphones, handles, whatever I want. So this is really convenient, and these are $120 if you're interested. It's called the Small Rig Cage Kit for the iPro 17 Max or whatever phone you have. This is kind of a universal mount, and as I said, it's for the i17, but you can get whatever kind that you need. Now, the other thing that I must tell you is I have a smaller case, and this is it. This is the case that I usually leave on my iPhone. And on the back here, I don't know if you can see, but I actually, well, let's get a close-up of it. This is the actual case itself. And again, I don't know if you could see the holes here, but these have threads on them. And I can actually screw any lens that I have onto this case, and that makes things kind of cool. So here's a close-up of the Small Rig device. They run about $60, which is a tremendous sale right now on Amazon. It's 25% off. That's nice. This is the lens that we're going to take a peek at. the reflex lens. They make a bunch of accessories for smartphones. They make all kinds of cases, stands, tripods, filters, lenses, all kinds of things, and they make really high quality stuff. So if we go under lenses, we will see that they have all sizes, shapes, and colors. They have a super telephoto 240 millimeter lenses. They have macro add-ons. They have telephoto lenses, and they do have a wide angle lens. And this is the actual lens that I'm going to show you now. And we got to be very careful with this one. This is the lens, and it's really a beauty, not cheap. It's almost, well, let's see, how much is it these days? $150. Solid lens, heavy, but just impeccable optics. And essentially what I will do with this is I can take this, well, let's get the black case here. I could take this regular screw-in case, which again, this is a reflex case, and simply pull off the tab on here. I always leave the caps on here because if you don't, you drop it, you scratch it, you ruin the lens. So this essentially is going to, I have multiple taps on here, if you will, and this essentially is just going to screw right in there. Nice. Let's get that in there. Make sure when you put the lens on that this is flat. Don't put it on like that. Make sure it's flat so you can feel the screws adhering and going in nice and smooth. So there you go, and boy, does this take nice photographs, real nice. So instead of lugging around, 5 or 6 other action cams, and they have their own purpose, but boy, I'll tell you, if you want to use your smartphone and you use these lenses, wow, unbeatable and really portable, and you're not bringing a lot of stuff with you. So let's face it, you always have your phone with you, always. I certainly do, and pretty much everybody else does. So you're always going to have a camera for video, for photography, for whatever, and getting some lenses makes a lot of sense. You can use a case like this and just leave it on your phone, or you can use a gimbal with a case like this and have the lens on that. All kinds of variables with that. And they also make lenses for attachment lenses for all these small action cameras that I have. So let's move on here. Let's take a look at another lens. This is a very unusual lens now. This is called an anamorphic lens, and you've seen these in the movies and you don't know what it is, but you've seen videos, I'm sure, where you see this type of glare. It might be blue, purple, gold, and they're called anamorphic lenses. I have one, and I do bring it with me for certain situations, particularly at night or when there's a lot of sun out. I can focus on a particular scene and get that real nice flare. It looks really cool, especially on the video. So this one is made by Freewell. It comes in this case. By the way, I always keep my lenses in cases. They are never out. If they are, they're on the phone. So this lens, it's not going to look any different than any other lens. Let's see if we can get it out of the case here. All right, here we go. So again, lens cover on this, but I don't know if you can see, you can actually rotate this lens, and that will bring the flare in or out. Very expensive lenses, very nice lenses, very well made. Again, they're bulky and they're heavy, but it beats carrying 100 pieces of other equipment, other cameras. So this always comes with me. Nice lens, anamorphic lens. So I can go on and on about lenses. Again, I will call your attention to other types of lenses here. And this actually is a lens for one of my action cameras. And there it is there. So you can see it's a much smaller lens. And this will screw right on top of the lens that's with that particular action camera. I think this one is for the Ultra. So again, I bring a variety of equipment. I'm trying to cull down. And you know what? With these lenses that I have about 4 different ones. I can eliminate taking a lot of those action cameras. Now, again, they all have their functions, and you got to know what you're going to be shooting in advance. Now, the next thing that you're going to always need, at least for me, I always have a sling bag with me. I take the gear that I want and maybe an extra backup piece or something I think I may use. I always put it in a sling bag. I do not like backpacks with the 2 straps. They hurt my back. I got to take both the straps off to get into the bag to get what I want. Then I got to pull the device out, zip the bag back up, and pull it over my shoulders. I hate those things, and they hurt my back. They're heavy, especially when you're doing a lot of walking. So I always use a sling bag. Now, I have a sling bag. I have like 10 of them, and the reason I have 10 of them is because I have different loads for each bag. I might need a small bag one day or a bigger bag. My all-around bag is this one right here. This one is waterproof, and never buy a bag that's not waterproof. It has a big, thick shoulder strap on it. Lots of pockets, padding on the back that slings over your shoulder. A million different pockets in here with padding. This is my all-around bag that I use, and if you want to know what that bag is, here it is right here. I don't know how to say it. Sketchlier? They're not easy to find, but if you Google it, here it is right here, you'll find these sling bags. They also have a USB port where you can put a charger inside the bag and keep your gear or your phone charged. They have an anti-theft lock on the top of it. Let's take a look at that. Here it is here. So you can set your own combination, and if you need to have this go through TSA, there's a lock on here that's standard for all TSA agents. If they need to get inside here, they can do that. Otherwise, it stays locked, and your stuff is as secure as it's going to be in a bag. I also have other bags that I use, and again, let's see here. This is the second bag I use most of the time. Sometimes I bring both bags because some days I'm hauling a lot of gear. Other days I'm not hauling a lot of gear and I just need a smaller bag. So this is the one that I use. Again, you'll see the padding on the back. That's a must. Waterproofing is a must. Definitely must have a padded strap. And again, it has the security lock on it. All kinds of zippers and pouches on this. I love this for that reason. And it has a USB port here where you can charge your phone or whatever it is that you want. And another reason I like the sling bags, all right? So when you throw this over your shoulder, and it will go over your left shoulder or your right, all I have to do really is just sling it around, and I have access to my gear. When I'm done using my gear and pull it out, I just throw it around again, and I'm good to go. So sling bags are a definite must. Just make sure they're waterproof. Don't buy a chintzy one because you don't want it to break, rip, or all the above when you're out on the road, per se. So this is a brand called Bang, B-A-N-G-E. They make a bazillion different size bags with a million configurations, 1 pocket, 2 pocket, 10 pockets. The cost range is all over the place. Literally figure out what size you want and what pockets you want. And I find this brand, there's a lot of them, to be really, really good. Definitely waterproof. I remember I was in Alaska with that particular bag, and boy, it was coming down. I mean, really coming down when I got back to the hotel. Man, everything was bone dry inside, and it's not a heavy sling bag to begin with. So all that's nice. So now another thing that you're going to need, at least I need, is a microphone. And you're not going to be walking around town holding one of these for sure. So you're going to need, more than likely, you will need a wireless microphone. And when it comes to wireless microphones, there are at least 25 different brands and 1,000 different prices for those microphones. And basically, they consist of a little microphone. It could be square, it could be round. They're tiny, the size of a quarter maybe, or they come in rectangular formats. But again, they're all small, and they're designed to clip on your chest or on your hat, or sometimes I even clip them onto the sling bag strap. And there's 2 brands that I use. My favorite is this one right here. It's the DJI mini mic. This is the mic 2. They have 3 of them, a mini mic 1, mini mic 2. The brand new one is a mini mic 3, and that's like $400. I don't need that because, quite frankly, the quality that I get from this is absolutely excellent, and I've been using these for years. They last a long time. I think these mics I've had for almost 4 years now. Never had a problem with them. The quality's impeccable. And in my opinion, the DJI microphones, the wireless microphones, no matter what one you get, is just impeccable. They're tough to beat. This particular set right now is $77 on Amazon. You can buy them directly from the DJI site or pretty much wherever you want to get them. But if I had to pick one brand and one type, this would be it right here. Now, that said, there is another brand that I use, and kind of for backup, and also sometimes I bring two sets of mics because I might want to put a mic on someone else or whatever. So I do use these Mano microphones, and these are actually quite good. I have to say that, which is why I have them. When you buy a Mano set, you're going to get the microphone. It will basically hook up a variety of ways. One, there's a little accessory that plugs right into your phone. Typically, it's a USB. They do come with an old lightning cable tap, if you will. You plug that directly in the phone, and then these little mics, and they're like little wafers. You can see them here. They'll automatically connect to that receiver device, and you're good to go. Both microphones automatically connect. Very easy to use, very easy to lose, but I like these a lot. This kit also comes with a transmitter that you could put onto an external camera, like any kind of action camera, and they will work with that. Same thing with the DJI. So cost-wise, they're real close. They're both this is $75. And this is $77. Which one would I buy? I could buy either one and be happy, but I will say that I prefer the DJI, and for the $2 difference, that's the way I would probably go. Not to say that if you can get these Mano mics cheaper or you want to try them out, again, no problem doing that. Really good stuff. So that, in a nutshell, quickly, is an overview of all the stuff that I bring regarding cameras, microphones, lenses, things like that. Now we get into the must-have stuff. There's no way around this. These always come with me. I'm not going to call this no way, no how. But first thing I bring is one or two charging devices. And you'll notice this one is kind of a different one. It has 4 USB-A's and 4 USB-C chargers. This plugs right into the wall. And as you know, I have a lot of gear, so I'm always able to charge multiple things. I can charge up to 8 devices at one time, which means this has to be of high wattage. And this one, I think, is 100 watts. So plenty of power to charge 8 devices. And what happens if you don't have the C plug or the A plug? You can get these little adapters. They're real cheap that will configure this to whatever it is that you want. So this is a must. Not even questionable. I'm taking this with me wherever I go. Always do. I have several of these. They're already in the suitcases, so it's impossible for me to forget it. They always live there. I also pick color things. So this one happens to be orange. I like orange because if you're in a hotel room or on a plane or ship, whatever it is you're on, a train, and you leave something behind, orange is easy to spot. Black, not so easy. White, sometimes easy, sometimes not. Another thing that I always bring with me, and again, if you're traveling out of the country, you know that you must have one of these. These are basically a voltage changer, if you will. More or less, it's a plug changer, because if you're on a cruise ship or in Europe at a hotel, they don't have the typical 110 AC jack configurations that we're used to. They don't have it. So these devices will allow you to plug in your American plug, as I call it, into one end of this, and then by sliding down these buttons, you're going to get different configurations. Oddly enough, this one is primarily the one that I've always used all through Europe on cruise ships. Most of the hotels will have this configuration available. However, your American connector cord, electrical cord, will not work, so I plug in that part to the American device, whatever it is, and will use these clips, these pinpoints, to go right into the particular receptacle wherever it is you may be. Okay, we're getting down to the bottom here. These, I know you don't have to talk about. You need air tags. I have probably 20 of them. I have one for each bag, each suitcase that I have, each sling bag that I have. Anything that is going to come with me that goes in a suitcase or a bag, or multiple things that go into a bag, it will have one and sometimes two air tags on it. Why? One, I don't want to lose this. I've been very fortunate. I have never left anything behind that I can remember. And if I do, I have these air tags, and these new ones from Apple, the AirTag 2, now you can get 4 of these. They're $25 a piece, so you'll get 4 for $100. Sometimes I think I saw a sale for $90, but these new tags are better than the old ones. I still use the old ones, but the new tags are more accurate in pinpointing where your bag or your device is that you have the AirTag on. Also, the speaker supposedly is a lot louder with the new tags. I can't hear it, but what are you going to do? So AirTags, absolute, positive, must have. All right. Also, I bring a bunch of these. What is this? Well, these are hand chargers. I call them hand chargers. I never use a charger that's less than 10,000 milliamps. So these are great little devices and a wonderful conversation piece. It looks really cool because they show you the insides. There's no, wow, what is that? So that's always good to have. Now, we're getting down to the end here. Not really, but I also bring a ton of cables, all kinds of connectors, adapters. You have to have that, and there's no way of culling down on that. However, I call this my Methuselah. Look at that. I've got 3 different heads on this. This is nice. So I've got a USB-C. I've got another lightning rod cable connector here, which I don't use anymore, but I have an adapter that will adopt this to a USB-A or C, so I can charge 2 devices at the same time. And oh, what's this? This is a little magnet, right, for mag charging. So I can put my smartwatch on this, or I could put my phone on this, and I'm able to charge 3 devices at the same time. So these are very handy, and also I keep these in my sling bag because if I'm missing a connector and need to get some juice, some charging juice, these cables will have every head that you possibly can imagine. So that's the stuff that I am using today, and as you can see, it's a lot. So I will do probably one more show, not immediately, we'll give this a break, but I will show you exactly what I ended up taking. I'll have all the names, the models, and the cost of everything that I am taking with me, and maybe that will help you prepare for your vacation or your business or whatever it is you're going to do, that you will be quite well equipped, and you won't be forgetting anything, and hopefully you won't be losing anything because you have your air tags. So that, folks, is going to wrap it and pack it for the Gadget Professor. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see everybody next week.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Bain,
Multimedia Communications, LLC.
If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.